Hey, so this is day 14 of the 21-day bestselling author platform, and we're going to talk about social media. People sometimes feel uncomfortable with the idea of social media marketing because they don't want to be on social media all the time, promoting their books all the time. So the main thing is you don't have to use it if you don't want to, but also social media is not really the place for book marketing. Social media is a place for accessing individuals and building a social relationship with them. So the takeaway from this topic is you want to pick a couple of social media platforms that kind of make sense to you, that you're kind of already using already, and you want to try to provide value. So you look for people to follow, you interact with them, you share interesting things, you reshare other people's things, but you're not just promoting your books all the time. It's also true that you can advertise directly on social media, like you can advertise on Facebook and that works pretty well, but advertising on Twitter doesn't work so well. TikTok advertising is kind of a new thing, which I think could work very well, but I think going forward, a lot of things are going to change because social media is kind of dying out. I think Facebook and Twitter as a platform are kind of dying out. TikTok, we don't know what's going to happen with it because some people are talking about banning it, but pretty soon, whether it's those or some new channel of social media, they're going to get much smarter about algorithms and relevancy, which means you need to follow relevant people, reshare relevant stuff, and also share relevant stuff on your own platform. So you're training the social media algorithms to understand where you fit in the context of, all these people. The things that you're talking about should be the things that your readers are interested in. You want to be sharing cool, interesting memes or articles or news that your readership might be interested in, but you also can be making relationships with peers or other authors or influencers who are on social media by showing up and interacting with their content. You can also, that's just for like building a platform. You could also run a giveaway to get people to follow you on social media just so you have some followers, because if nobody's following on your social media, then of course, posting on social media is a waste of time. But being smart about the content that you share, you can build some followers, and it's just another channel to reach people. Maybe they're not reading your emails, maybe they don't follow you on Amazon or on BookBub. Social media is another place where you can tell people about your book launches, where they might, see it in a way that, maybe they don't click on your emails and go buy the book, but if they see your message a few times across several social media platforms, they probably will finally take action and do the thing. So it's more about just being visible everywhere. There are some things you could do when you're launching a book. This is kind of one of the things I break down in my course, where when you're about to launch a book, during the editing phase, I would go through and find 10 or 20 excerpts from your book that make like a really strong point, or they're a really powerful paragraph. For fiction, you want stuff that has an open hook that sets the scene or world building or conflict or tension, but doesn't resolve it, just to try to get their interest piqued. And what you'll do is you can either tweet one of those out every day for like 20 or 30 days, or you can turn them into infographics where it's a nice looking, piece of art, whether it's artwork and the quote, or it's just the quote that just looks really good. Then you have your book title or something. But if you design it a little better than just posting it, the advantage is consistency over time. So when you're going to launch a book in 3 weeks, you'd have like a 21-day course mapped out, and you could even pre-schedule it. You could outsource it on Fiverr to get something designed, or you could use something like Canva or WordSwag to get really nice looking infographics made of your quotes, your excerpts. You could also do the same thing with reviews. If you find 5 or 10 of your best reviews and turn it into a nice infographic, the thing is, it'll just stand out better if it's a picture as opposed to all text, but you want the all text there as well. And then you could auto schedule it. There are social media tools where I could, spend a couple hours on a Sunday and map it all out. So for the next 3 weeks leading up to launch, I would have a piece of content that goes out on social media every day with an excerpt or a blurb or a link to one of my blog posts or something, and then those would just go out automatically. you also want to, be around long term. Part of social media is just, it's not always about promoting your book. So it's also just about sticking around and supporting other people's content or other people's launches. You want to be careful about just retweeting everything. If it's not good content, you don't want to share stuff that's not actually good, but you do want to be doing favors and participating in the conversation around your genre. You don't just want to be like using it as a broadcast megaphone where you're just talking about your book all the time. And you want to be sharing relevant content. So using the hashtags, talking about other things that people are already interested in, maybe reviewing, 2 or 3 books every month that come out that are similar to yours or have the same genre or audience. You just want to show the social media algorithms that you're someone who knows what you're talking about, and that you're involved in the discussion enough to know what's trending or what's interesting or what readers are engaging with. So that's kind of it with social media. I do think there's going to be some new things coming this year. I think there's probably going to be some changes in the way that we use social media pretty soon. But mostly you can either like advertise straight promotion, or you want to be part of the discussion. But a lot of that can be outsourced, so that you're really just working maybe 1 or 2 days a month to plan out your social media content, to find your 20 or 30 excerpts from your book and schedule that out to build up around a launch, and maybe doing something like a giveaway or something at the beginning just to get the first couple hundred followers on social media. Otherwise it's pretty tricky. If you post something, not everyone's going to see it. All of that said, social media is not really built for book marketing. It can work very well, but it's one of those things, even on TikTok. TikTok worked great for a while, but a lot of people are having trouble with it right now because the way a lot of platforms work is first they make your free content go viral because they need good content. And then now that they've introduced advertising, they're making people pay for access. It's kind of the same thing that happened with Facebook, where you used to get pretty good engagement, and now engagement's pretty much dead, whether you have a page or a group, unless you pay to reach your own followers. So on the one hand, yeah, social media is kind of garbage for marketing because you have to pay to access your own followers. On the other hand, there's always a new platform that works really well. So you kind of have to find, it's an opportunity to build a relationship with your peers and also with your audience that's a little more two-way, as opposed to email lists where you're just like sending out a broadcast. This is a way where you can exist online and people can interact with you as more of a real person, and you can build a lot of good social currency, which means, by showing up, by being there, sharing funny memes or whatever, even if you're not talking about your book, you can still get people to feel nice things about you and to kind of understand what genre or what market or niche you represent, because you're sharing relevant content that's valuable for those, for people who are interested in that relevant subtopic. Hope that makes sense. We're going to talk about casting a wider net in the next video. Thanks, bye-bye.